going. That is the... Everybody in the world touched the pad and it should be used.
I'm going.
So I've got the... let's take a little... Now then, crew, and welcome again to the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. It's Saturday morning, well, actually Saturday afternoon now, isn't it? Been filming all morning, and this is going to be the third video in the differential setup sequence. And in the first video we did pinion bearing preload, got that signed off, that was the first one. Second video covered the crown wheel carrier bearing preload adjustment, we got that right, so that one's signed off. And now it's time to set the backlash between the crown wheel and pinion teeth, and that really is the amount of gap, sorry Sam, the amount of gap between the teeth, between the crown wheel and pinion. Now you might think, well, hey, why bother having a gap? Why not just make them touch completely and then there's no sort of free play? Well, you've got to remember that these differentials, as they warm up, everything expands because of thermal expansion. That's what happens when things warm up normally. And if you had them tight, the teeth between each other, there'd be nowhere for the metal to expand, and of course it would cause massive amounts of loading on the teeth, and it would no doubt cause the teeth to break, or at least wear excessively and make lots of noise when you're driving down the road. So we have to have a gap. Now that gap, some of it still needs to remain even when the diff's up to operating temperature, because we've got lubrication. There's oil between those teeth, and that helps to protect the metal and to keep it cool. So it's a lubricant and it's a cooling device, is the oil in the diff. Okay, without further ado, because I want to try and keep these videos reasonably sort of to the point, we'll head back over to the vise where we've got the diff mounted as it was in the last video. The preload is set, but there's lots of backlash and we need to reduce that backlash. Now, one of the big problems is as we change the backlash, if we're not careful, the preload may change. So we might have to go back and recheck the preload and make some final adjustments, because all these adjustments sort of overlap each other. You adjust one thing and it actually affects something else, if you know, usually it does, so you've got to fine tune it. So backlash adjustment first, and to do that you will need a DTI gauge, one of these things. So you've got the stand, magnetic stand, and the little gauge, and you can see on there, look, it moves around. It's really accurate, and we use this an awful lot on the RAV4 engine measurement videos that I did about a year ago. Longer than a year ago. Jeez, I'm getting old. Okay, so here we go. Ask me the question
When
again.
I drive my car, is this in the middle?
No, it's not. Things like Subarus, they have a center diff, but they'll also have a front diff and a rear diff as well. Very complicated sort of drivetrains. Your car's front wheel drive, right? Okay, so it'll have a similar component. It won't look like this. It'll have a similar component in the transaxle, in the gearbox at the front. Is yours an auto?
Yep.
Yeah. So it'll have the automatic gearbox, and then the output of the gearbox will then go to the differential unit, which is actually inside the gearbox. Yeah. It's all one piece. Whereas things like four-wheel drives and vehicles that have got the traditional sort of banjo axle, the live axle, this is in the middle. Remember that axle we had on the stand that you took it out of? So that basically the drive comes down a prop shaft onto here, and then it gets split to both wheels through the half shafts. Okay, so backlash. What is backlash? Well, I sort of covered it a bit earlier on, but you can hear that knocking noise. What it means is, basically, I can turn the crown wheel, move the crown wheel backwards and forwards, and the pinion shaft is not moving. So we've got loads of clearance between those teeth. And if you look carefully, Sam, you'll see that these teeth are tapered. Can you see they're a lot fatter down the base than they are at the peak? Mm-hmm. So basically, the closer we bring those teeth together, the less backlash. So we move fingers apart, got loads of backlash, getting really close, only a little bit backlash. And if they go too far in, then of course there's no movement at all. And the only component that I can recall on a car that has zero backlash between gear teeth is your steering box or your steering rack. Well, certainly steering racks do not have backlash. Steering boxes have a little tiny bit, to be fair. Okay, so in order to reduce this, and this is definitely too much, the spec for this diff is 0.1 to 0.15 millimeters, which is a tiny bit. It's a very small measurement. So we know for sure that this crown wheel is going to have to come this way in the casing. It's going to come towards me, which means it goes further into mesh, i.e. the fingers get closer together. Down there, look, you can see this, see the big movement, can't you? Side. If you look down there, you can see the pinion gear and the crown wheel, and you can see that movement. And if you had that, if this diff was in your car now and you were setting off at the traffic lights, every time you set off it would go clunk, and then when you slow down it go clunk, you speed up it go clunk, 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 and it'd be really annoying. And that clunk can cause these teeth actually to break off if you've got too much movement. Okay, so we need to move this crown wheel across this way towards the pinion, and to do that we're going to have to wind out, so anti-clockwise for this adjustment wheel and clockwise for this one. Now what you have to do is undo first and then do up, because otherwise you're going to crush the bearings and basically apply a lot more preload. Now these are quite cool because they've got all these little notches. If you're not far off and you want to make a really fine adjustment, you can just turn the wheel just one click, and we can put a little mark on the casing so you know where to line up the circles. If you're a long way off like we are, we could probably do 2 or 3, notches, so to speak, circles at a time. So we can undo this one 3, and then we can do that one up 3. And as long as we stay in sync, the preload that we set in the last video, the preload on these 2 bearings, should, in theory, stay the same. Doesn't always work that way though, unfortunately. We'll see. Yeah, we will see. I bet it doesn't. Okay, if you come around this side, bring your special tool, and we better put some little marks on there to help you to line up. So if we put a mark there, you see where that circle is there? Put a mark on there, and we'll do the same on this side. Now, just to help you, because we don't want to mess this up, we know that the crown wheel's got to come this way, right? Mm-hmm. So this wheel is always going to be undone that way. So whenever you turn this, you're always going to turn it in that direction, anti-clockwise. And whenever we turn this wheel, it's always going to be clockwise. So I'll put you another little arrow on there. Because if we go the wrong way and count, we'll get out of sync, and then we've got to set the preload again. I've done this a few times and I've messed it up many times. Right, okay Sam, so do me 3 circles. So just to get you started, that's going to be, we're on this one, so it's 1, 2, 3. If you take me around to there to line up with that. Very technical, isn't it?
Wait, what?
So put your, because you're going to come this way, aren't you? So put your tool somewhere in there maybe. It doesn't have to be bang opposite as long as it fits in the holes. Right. You about there? Just 3, yeah, just that white line. Perfect. Okay.
Oops, it moved a bit further down.
I'll stick it back. There we are, look. Yeah. So it's nice and loose, because what's happening is we've undone this, but the outer bearing race is still where it was before. It's only when we tighten this one up that's going to push it across. Right, to the other side. Right, so on this side now, see I've put a little arrow, so this one has to go clockwise. Hang on, little ones, spin it around, there you go.
Oh, I didn't realise there was a different side.
That's all right.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, hang on, I didn't mark the 3. So where are we now? Just pull it off again. Yeah, it's a good fit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, so we're on that one, so 1, 2, 3, there we go. So you want that line up to there. You know, I've never thought about marking it before. Only today would have made life so much easier. Cool. So that one got tighter as you got close to the line?
Yeah.
Excellent.
That didn't move.
Well, using my ichrometer, I can tell that we're still way above. But we'll set up the DTI and we'll read what we've got, see how bad it really is, and see how far out of spec it is. Now, I did cheat a little bit because I set this DTI up last night, so because they're a pain in the ass to set, especially on diffs, because they're just, everything's wobbles. The casting's not very good on it. You'd wish really that they would actually fit cast into the metal a nice flat place for your DTI gears to go, but they didn't. Right, so I think, see, we've got a wobble there, look, that's not good. Let's try it. And you just got to play around because every diff casing is different. That actually might be okay because there's hardly any force on it. Right, so we need to get that little bobbly bit against one tooth. So we can move it around to help us, and we can twizzle that round a bit. Round to there. There we go, look. Okay, it looks like to me like we're actually, in fact, see, we've got to get, when we go full the way that way, there's a little gap still, so we can probably adjust that. Oh, damn you, it's too high. Bring it down a bit. It's really important you set your DTI up properly, otherwise it's not going to work. Okay, so you've got to make sure that the little ball, or the plunger if you have a plunger type, stays in contact with that tooth through the full movement, otherwise you're not going to get a true reading. Which this one, as it is working. Okay, so we need to zero the DTI. So if we take the crown wheel to either all the way towards us or all the way away from us, it makes no difference, and then set the DTI. Can you twizzle that little ring until it goes to 0? So that's it. So you can just turn it. So you put the 0 where the needle is. It's really, really picky. That's it. You got the hang of it. And you'll find it takes a little time to get it just to line up perfectly. That'll do. With that? Yeah, that was pretty good. With my bent needle. Right. Okay, so just to cover, each tiny segment on this DTI is 0.01 millimeters. Okay, so when it gets to the 10 there, that's 0.1 of a millimeter. Now our spec is 0.1 to 0.15, so I'll get my, oh, look at that, super clean, brilliant, good job. So really, the distance on here, we're looking from the 0, the needle should travel, if we're in spec, to either the 10 or halfway between the 10 and the 20, which would be 0.15. So from there to there. Let's see what we get. You've got to turn it really slowly. We've gone all the way around. And then to fourth. So fourth. Now all the way around we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not actually a 1 millimeter for a full circle. It's 0.8 of a mil on this DTI. Don't ask me why. So we've got here basically 1.2 millimeters of backlash, which is way, way too much. We need about 10% of that. So we need to continue to wind out the right hand wheel, looking from the pinion, wind out the right hand wheel and wind in the left hand wheel. But we've got to keep them in sync. So we'll keep doing that. Then we'll do another test. Right, Sam. Okay, so shall I mark you another 3 on here?
Sure.
All right, so we'll
I'm
go.
sure I'll get lost if you don't.
Well, actually, let's go for 6. Let's be
Okay.
really outlandish and do 6 notches. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to go to there. I'll make it extra thick this time. And that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you end up with too many little marks, you can just clean them off and start again. Okay. Cool. So you're going that way. Arrow. It's so easy to mess it up, isn't it? That's it. And you can do that with your finger now, can't you? So you pull it out. Because it's going to loosen off, you see, so you can just twizzle it around with your finger. You should be able to.
Oh, no, I can't.
Is it too tight?
Right.
Right, so that's that one set. So you come around this side, do the same with that one. That's it. So that this time it's coming towards me, it's going up. There you go. Did a cracking job.
Nice.
bloody good.
That one
Right.
is good.
So we can immediately check the backlash because it's all set up for us now. Right, so we'll just get that to the limit. And we're going to, go on Sam, you can do this bit. So twizzle it back to 0 again for us. You've got the little fingers. Mine have big fat sausages, so they're no good for this job. Oh, that's pretty good. That'll do for now anyway, because we're not super accurate at the moment. Right, so we're at 0, and I'm just moving the crown wheel.
It's over 40, I know.
Yeah, so but we haven't gone one full circle this time, have we? We've just gone straight to 40. So that reading there, from 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, it's about 0.46, which is still way too much. We need to be between 0.1 and 0.15. So we've got a bit more to go yet, but maybe not 6. Maybe we should just do, let's do 2, because we don't want to overcook it. I'll use a yellow pen this time. You can change colour as well, look. It's bloody good, isn't it? You can get real technical now. Okay, so that one's going that way, 1, 2. So 1, 2, we're going to go to there, yeah? Okay. Liquid. You can be an awesome mechanic by the time we finish all these videos, aren't you?
For sure.
Okay, so that one wants to go again because they're both actually going upwards, aren't they, from that side? I think he caught on the casing. Is that it? You there? Yep. Brilliant. Right. Let's see what we've got. Oh, it's looking pretty good. Right, can you 0 that for us again? Cheers, Sam. Perfect. Look at that. Okay. Well, you can move the crown wheel now if you want. So at the moment it's fully that way, and we don't want. I'll hold the pinion. If you just want to move the crown wheels back like that, you see how I'm doing it, and we'll get the reading. Oh man. Okay. Pretty close. So if you just hold it on that. Go the other way. That's it. Hold it there. So we've got 0.22 backlash, and we want point. Ideally, I want to go for 0.12, which is sort of in the middle of spec.
So about
Yeah, so I reckon we're going to have to just do 1 click at a time. Yeah, 1 notch. Right, let's do that. Let's go 1 more notch. I'll do your white line this time. Just to, I should buy all different colours, then we just do every single one different colour. Right, so we want to go to that one, don't we? You got it? Oh, perfect. Look at that. Bang on.
Is it that one?
Yeah, the one on the arrow.
Yeah.
There was an arrow in the way, sorry.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Right, do you reckon we'll be there? I'm not sure.
Maybe. Almost.
My word. Okay, can you 0 that for us then? Thanks, Sam. You're a very good 0er. I'm terrible at it. I always overshoot. Right, so we're at 0 now. And if you move the crown wheel. Oh man, look at that. That is bang on. That is 0.12 millimeters. That's what we needed. So we're bang in the middle of spec. You know what we have to do now? Check the preload again.
Okay.
Cool. Let's do it. So you can see here, Sam, just how little movement there is on the actual ball there. Look, that's all we want, and that's nothing, is it, compared to what we first started off with?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Without a DTI, you can't do this job. Right, we'll just give it a bit of a wiggle to make sure the oil's all around. Make it a fair test. Okay. There you go. Right, so let's do it. All yours.
8. Wait. Oh.
Let's try again. Make sure we're at 90 degrees. Okay. And again. Oh, a bit slower. Put your power on a bit slower. Nice and progressive. 2.4. So it looks like we're a bit down on preload, doesn't it? Okay, let's just do another one around this side. There we go, let's give it a bit of a turn. See what we get now. Yeah, 2.2. So the preload has definitely changed since we've set the backlash. 3.3. That was nearly there, wasn't it? That was nearly in spec. Let's do another one. Try that one there, look. It is important that you do it from different, a number of different readings. Yeah, a bit low. Okay, now we don't want we can't affect the backlash. Now, to increase preload without affecting backlash, we need to wind the two wheels in the same amount each. So we'll adjust each wheel one turn in, and we'll remeasure it and see what we get. And it might throw us way over. I think it might. Okay, Sam, do your stuff. So we need to go one more notch, don't we? Mm-hmm. So that one's going that way. So you want to go to that one. And that one. Oh, I think we're going to overcook it. I really do. But anyway, give it a go. Oh no, other way this time. My fault, because we're doing backlash. So is it back where it was?
No.
No, put it back where it was. That's it. You want to go to the yellow one now. Yeah? That which is one more. Alright. This one is that white line that I put on. There you go. So this will actually get quite hard to turn now, I think, because we're actually squashing the two bearings together. So nice and accurate. Yeah, got it? Okay, right, spring balance again then. Okay, give it a twizzle, let's see what we get. That'll do. I can't even see it from here. You have to tell me what we get. Go on then.
0.
Yeah.
2.42 is what I saw.
2.4, yeah, one more. And again, pop it in there. Look. I've got to make
on hold. Bastard.
Yes, bastard thing. There you go. Okay, we've got to make sure we're at 90 degrees from that line there. Look, so if I draw a little line on there, intersecting that circle. 90, there we are. It's a bit hard with a hook on it because the hook gets in the way. What was that? Try again. Was it on hold again?
Yeah.
Alright, you've got
2.8.
Okay, just one more, but do it really slowly this time.
2.22, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, 2.6, 2.0, 2.9, 3. Oh. 3.2, 3.3.
Hey! So that would be in spec there, isn't it? That's the trick. It is, and you've got to apply that force very progressively to get an accurate reading. Okay, one more. Come on, let's do it properly. One more. Otherwise, the viewers will tell us off big time for this. That's it. Pop it in there. Yeah, that should work. Give that on a go. So again, really progressive. I know it's hard.
1.4, 1.7, 2.2, 2.5, 2.8.
2.8. Do we go one more turn? Should you try it? What the hell? We've got to be in spec. So
Yeah.
right. So to increase preload, I'll change the arrow now on here. This one needs to go that way. Okay. And that one still goes in, so that one's still the same angle. Okay, there we go. Right. So I don't need to mark it. You can work out one more clip. So one more.
Down?
Yeah, so we've turned the whole thing around now. So that one needs to go down. So you want your tool, hang on, put your tool like this, look. Yeah. And you're going to go down just one hole. You got it? Mm-hmm. Cool. And then you're going to go up, because we're turning it inwards, one notch. So yeah, that's it. Cool. All done?
Yep.
Excellent. Oh, did we give it a spin first?
Oh, no.
Sorry. Yeah, just get the all around. Right. So what do you reckon?
1.6, 1.9, 2.2, 2.5, 2.6, 2.8, 3.3, 3.4. 3.5 was the highest one that I saw.
Cool. So 3.5, that's bang in the middle of spec, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's have another one. If this one's in spec as well, we'll call it a day.
Right. 2.8.
That was a bit low, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But you can see how you get varying results.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 3 point, oh no. 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.6.
That's 6.
Why are they so different?
Oh, I mean, you've got to. These are the old bearings that are in there and stuff. So there's always going to be a little bit of irregularity. Yeah, I'm just thinking, do we go one more? Okay, let's do it. Oh, did I swear? Jeez, Mr. Young. Right, so we'll do one more on your wheels. So if you go one more circle again to that one there, look, to there. You got it?
One?
Yeah, just the one. And again, it's going to go down, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's back on another white line anyway.
Cool. Maybe that means it's the right one then.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's see.
I hope this is the last time. Very tedious job, isn't it?
Yep. Okay. Two point three. 2.5.
That was low, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay. Let's try it there then. Next one.
Two point five. 2.7, 2.9. 3.3. 3.4.
Perfect. 3.4 and a bit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That is fantastic. Okay. Let's hope that this one. Last one. All right. Let's hope we get the similar kind of reading this time then.
2.2. 2.5. 2.9. 3.1. 3.3. 3.5. 0.6.
Yeah, bang on. 3.6. God.
I can't believe how tiring it is. Like,
It's like a session at the gym, isn't it? Just holding that. It's that slow, progressive application of load, isn't it? Gets your arms going. Cool. Okay. We've done it.
awesome.
You know what's left to do now? Well, because we've been moving the wheels around, we've got to check the backlash again.
Okay.
Jeez. Right, Sam, if I move the crown wheel, can you just zero that for us? Oh, bloody good. So that's 0.1. God, I can't even see on the camera.
4.
0.14. And the spec was 0.1 to 0.15. Girl, we're in spec. Done.
Yeah.
So now we've set pinion preload, crown wheel carrier preload, and backlash. Cool. Wow, video number 3 is now done on differential assembly. We covered pinion, pinion bearing preload adjustment, crown wheel carrier bearing preload adjustment. That was video number 2, and in this video I've shown you how to set, in fact, sorry, we've shown you. Sam's shown us how to do it, really, because I know nothing. She just comes here and tells me what to do. How to set the backlash between the crown wheel teeth and the pinion teeth. And we got a result of 0.14 millimeters, and the spec was 0.1 to 0.15, so perfect. Very happy with that. So all three settings so far are bang on. The next video is going to cover tooth contact pattern, and that's critical to the life of the differential. If you get it wrong, there's a good chance you could break a tooth, or the teeth are going to wear prematurely. Okay, so you better watch the next video. But if you enjoyed this one, why not subscribe to the channel, click on the gear icon, and then you can tick the box and turn on notifications. You'll also find Andy Mechanic on
Facebook, Google+, Twitter and Instagram.
You will. I'm on all of them. And I do answer you now and again too. But please, first point of contact through the comments on YouTube. That's where the videos are, and that's where most people leave comments. So please, that's your first place to leave a comment. After that, we can migrate off somewhere else, or you can send me a private message on Facebook if you don't want to make the question public. Okay, crew. Well, until the next video, which we're going to start filming in about 5 minutes. Cheers for now. Over and out.